And
you are. I couldn't ask for a better shot than that.
hit it,
All right.
maestro.
You gotta. Oh, there we go.
What are you
I
laughing?
like that. That was
Ladies
a
and
good
gentlemen,
one.
we sit here for
Play the
about
wrong song?
I
we
don't
sit
know.
here for about 15 minutes before we go on air, and Michael practices various songs. We try to find a suitable song for the occasion,
that's right, I did
and
play
then the cameras come on, and Michael plays something he hasn't played in 6 months. All of a sudden, it comes
That's
up.
all right, I
Then
just
he
don't-
asks me why I'm laughing.
Yeah.
Welcome to the big fun show here at Big TV.
Big TV.
Big TV.
Very big TV.
If you want to see what Big is all about, the Brookline Interactive Group, there's a big open house on Thursday
Thursday.
evening. If you want to come down, visit our studios,
And
look
I'll
at our
ask you for
control
your
rooms.
autograph if you come.
Yeah, right. We'll get autographs from everybody.
No, I want them. If
That's
they
what I
come,
said.
I wanna get their
We'll
autograph.
get autographs from everyone who comes.
Yeah, they'd like
Put them
that.
in our collection. Yeah, I'm going to put
That's a
them on
good
those
plan. I like
cashier
it.
checks.
And throw dots at them.
Nice.
Right, okay.
Anyway, behind the keyboard, playing idiosyncratically, as usual, is Michael Sallen, our host and producer and maestro. I'm Arch O'Riley. I'm usually sitting on this side. And our
I
new,
raised tomatoes
now
in the summer.
officially new
Ooh.
member of the panel.
It's official?
Yes,
It's
Kiera,
official.
Right.
Kiera Miner is sitting in her normal spot in between.
And
Well, I've decided she needs a normal spot because I never know what color her hair's going to be when she shows up. So.
all I
It's
know
going to
is
be blue next time.
she
Blue.
adds a lot of oomph to
And
the
then you'll
show.
wear
Aw,
then you'll
thank
wear an
you.
orange sweater to go
That's
with it.
right. It's, you know,
Look.
color coordinating my hair
She looks terrific.
and my lipstick.
Okay.
I see. Okay.
Thanks, Mike.
Okay.
Yes, I have to color coordinate my lipstick.
Well, you
Do
know.
they make it in deadly pale gray?
I think Putin would
Yes.
like her too. He'd like to see her on this show if he was around.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, Putin.
yeah, good old Putin.
They said somebody said the German Merkel said he sounds nuts. He sounds crazy on the phone. She talked to him. Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Except that
He's
doesn't
definitely
bode
off.
well.
Well, I hear John had a long conversation with him, and
Kerry, yeah.
interestingly enough, will the Cossacks make a comeback?
Of course they will.
That's
They'll
the
be playing
question.
in the NBA.
Well, I understand, at least from what I hear reported, that the Cossacks are not at all interested
Okay.
in the Crimea becoming part of Russia. So we'll see. But when's the last time the Cossacks were of any influence? Like 1912 or something like that?
Oh, here it is. All right. Okay.
What? You thought it was out? Somebody
hope
came
it's
in and
on.
pointed at you?
Yeah,
Is that what
somebody
it is?
pointed. I thought it was.
Rig that up better.
Okay.
That's all right.
The Cossacks will be at Suffolk Downs. What are you worrying about?
Suffolk Downs?
Yeah, they love to ride
What
horses.
They'll
be on the tables.
in the new casino.
Well, we hope.
So what do you think? You think Revere will get the casino? I think Everett
Are
will
we
get
talking
the
about
casino.
the casino again? How do we move
Yeah.
from the Ukraine to the casino? Like, there was no transition
Well,
whatsoever.
he put the Cossacks in Suffolk Downs. Now that was the
All right, fine.
segue.
You're right. That was
That's
the
the
segue.
segue.
Yeah.
You're right.
Well, I will
Fine,
go back.
fine,
Okay.
fine.
Get-
But I thought we had more Putin talking to do.
Wanna
Get
talk
used
say-
to a Sallen
What do you think of
segue.
this guy, Putin? You like him?
You know, I'm going to go with the word despicable. It's unfortunate.
Wait a minute, he speaks Russian.
Well, he's still despicable.
That's very useful to
you
be
know.
president of
Yeah,
Russia.
I would say
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
definitely a benefit to him.
Yeah.
It was very convenient. He waited till the Olympics were done for what, 2 days? 2 days before trying to
I
invade
mean,
another country.
we waited till the 21st century before we elected a president who didn't speak English.
Talking about Bush?
W.
Okay.
I think he
Yeah, I finally got one.
It was all an act.
It was all an act. Yeah, that's
all an
right.
act. He's an airplane pilot.
He,
you know,
he,
everybody
he
knows
learned it
that.
at the MBA,
Yeah, there you go.
MBA program over at Harvard.
Oh,
I
my
was reading
goodness.
a story in the Globe today. I didn't like it about the MBTA and Keolis or something like that. K-O-A-O-L-I-S. They gave them a $2.6 $2.68 billion, which is for a long time, to run all the trains, the passenger
Commuter
trains.
trains, the commuter
Really?
trains, yes.
Yeah, and turns out somebody down in Maryland found out that this outfit used to be known as the French Railway System. They changed the name along the way.
Okay.
And the reason they changed the name was...
Because they wanted to do business outside of France.
No, that was part of it.
That's not the big reason.
Yes, but the
It's
other
getting-
part of it
it's all
was...
this buildup.
It's a big buildup because about 65,000 French Jews. You're not getting it? Are we getting? We're coming through? No. It's
Technical
coming?
difficulties.
Okay. Well, anyways, all these. Here it is, right here. Take a
Just-
look.
He's telling a story that's longer than Kate Blanchett's acceptance speech, and there's no microphone apparently.
You talk.
a problem.
Can't you pick him up on the table mic?
Yeah.
I got it up here. Okay.
This is how we keep it real, everybody.
Yes, yes.
Okay, I'm putting it up here.
We always like to get.
And here's this over here. You can hear me on this.
Yeah, don't move another mic around. There's enough moving around.
Yeah, we gotta.
All right,
I
so
got
they.
semaphore.
All right,
Well,
we gotta
anyways,
get to
it
the.
turns-
We have to get to the conclusion of
yeah,
that
this-
very long
it
story.
turns out that the French railway system transported 65,000 French Jews to death camps.
Yeah.
That's not acceptable.
We didn't know anything about this, and I think it might have made things a little different about giving this contract to this French railway company, knowing what their role was in World War II. Unfortunately, somebody asked the question down in Maryland who found out about all this. I'm serious.
Wow.
They said, well, what about the Holocaust people? There's still some 90-year-old people. Are you giving them anything? So
question. What
that
was their
they
response?
said that's the response is the government's supposed to give them. If the French government is not answering that. They said we already did our part. Okay.
So has this disrupted the?
I don't know. I'm just telling you this crazy story. But I think that Governor Patrick should have known something about this thing.
I think it's ridiculous.
$2.68 billion.
This is
Hey, it's
It's
heavy.
ridiculous.
The whole thing is heavy.
The people who were running the commuter rail system before were screwing up, so that's why they were looking for a new
I know
person
they
to do
are.
it. And who was running France in the first half of the 1940s?
A bunch of socialists.
National Socialists, Nazis.
Yes, that's
Yes,
true.
German Nazis.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So
They occupied France in
yes,
World War
they
II.
did.
Yeah.
And so, what do you think the railroad's choices
Well,
were?
that's what they said. We
They
were
had
told.
none.
That they didn't
Their
have a
answer
choice,
was we
that's
were
it.
told to do it, and we did it. All right.
Either that or die. Unfortunately.
Well, I don't know about. I can't answer that.
Either that, or we
Maybe
simply
they could
take the
demote 'em.
railroad away.
They could demote them. Well, all right. That's your answer. Okay.
That's my answer.
What do you think of all
Well, I
this?
mean,
My
that was a
answer is
thoughtful
history is
response.
history.
It's still, there still should be some restitution in there somewhere, but I don't disagree with Arch's
All right.
assessment.
Okay.
'cause
Well,
the truth
I
is
think
people
it's
were
just, I'd like to have known
in
this.
a rock and a
what
hard
I'm saying
place.
is, I would like to know this information.
Are you still the kind
Yes.
of person who won't drive on the same street as a Mercedes?
I don't buy a Volkswagen. That's it.
How about a
Okay.
Mercedes or
I think
a
Ford
BMW?
should be off the list too then.
A Mercedes costs a lot of money. When I was in Germany, my son was stationed up there with his wife. We went. They had a cleaning woman who came in. The cleaning
Yeah.
woman came in with a Mercedes. She drove. I thought that was
I
pretty
guess
good.
they're
That's a
not
little
quite as
nuts.
expensive in Germany.
No.
Okay, well,
But-
all right.
Are we moving on?
We're moving on.
Okay.
Okay, we're moving on. And a fellow named Warren Buffett. I'll get to another subject that you might like. Warren Buffett is a guy that owns a company that is worth billions, and he's
Yes.
worth billions.
Yes, one of the richest men in the world.
Okay, and what does he say?
Well, he says that his company, Berkshire Hathaway, will still be a major force in the economy in 100 years.
His son is a farmer. One of the sons is a farmer.
One of his sons is a very, very innovative farmer who does good work around the entire world.
Beautiful stuff.
In,
yeah. I think
in
another
getting
one.
third world countries sustainable agriculture and things like
I
that.
think the other one's
big
a
positive.
doctor. I think.
How
No,
many
they're
sons does
good.
he have?
I think two, but he's limited the amount of money that they've gotten, and they have to do things. There's not a Paris Hilton in the group.
Okay.
You know? And
Good for him.
he also figured that Bill Gates was doing such a good job of giving his money away that
He's giving his money.
Buffett
away.
gave him several $1 billion to give away for him.
a lot of
good.
money.
Yeah, a lot of money.
A lot of
Well,
money.
they have the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation that
Yeah,
definitely
they do.
reaches
They do.
a lot of
That is actually
people.
doing more than the World Health
Yeah.
Organization.
In Africa, they wiped out. I think
Something to be said
the
about it.
tsetse fly or something over
I
the
think
malaria.
it was river
Yeah.
blindness or
Yeah.
whatever.
Okay, they
something
did.
like that.
They've done wonderful
Yeah.
things with
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
Good.
So you
Yeah.
don't begrudge them.
No,
the
we
money,
don't.
you
We
know?
don't.
No,
And it
as long as
turns
they give
out-
him back.
And here was the surprising thing. It turns out that last year, Mark Zuckerberg actually gave away more money than Bill Gates.
Wow.
You know,
To who? To what?
Good stuff.
Good stuff.
Good
That's
stuff.
a little
Harvard,
generic.
he
I
gave
think
some
that's a
money
little
to
generic.
Harvard. He gave.
Well,
some money.
Harvard needed that money.
Well, he
Something
went
awful.
to. He
Yeah.
went there. Zuckerberg went to Harvard. He should give money to
Another
Harvard.
dropout.
All right. So besides Harvard, who else did he give his
I
money
don't.
to?
I don't-
We haven't got a
So
list.
we need to follow up on that. That's some.
Oh, all
I'm
right.
gonna have to
Okay,
research this
researcher.
next week.
Okay.
We're gonna find out.
Find if you can get the
What-
list of what Mark Zuckerberg gave his money to.
Okay. Done.
But the thing is, there's some hope that some of these filthy rich people are not starring in reality TV, but are actually doing some good with their money.
Yes.
They're good people. Lots of rich people are good people,
That's true.
and
Agreed.
That's
lots
true.
of poor people are good people too.
That's true.
That's
And Ratzer,
I don't like you.
what
What did he do?
I don't like him.
I'm neither rich nor poor, so that's my problem.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, now we'll get to
Except with my town water bill, I may soon be poor.
we'll get to the
That
4
bad?
BU students who are running that big party in Alston, Brighton.
Right.
When was this?
This was last week.
yeah.
Last week.
And they actually got sent to jail.
How many?
Wait a minute. There were 200 kids in the building. Can you imagine them running
Wow.
out, falling out of windows? And they found 1,000 beer cans on the floor in the place.
Oh my goodness.
And
How many kids were
but
arrested?
then wait a minute. This
What?
is the second time this has happened. It happened
That's
in the
still
fall.
5 beers per. That's
Yeah,
still
the judge
heavy
said,
drinking.
"Okay, you won't do
would
it
say so.
anymore." No, we won't do it anymore. Okay,
Yeah.
here
They
it is,
did it.
and the same thing. He said, "Okay, you won't do it anymore." They said, "No, we won't." Okay, go. Let's put him in jail. That's all. Judge, we like that. He and I like it.
Some
You'd like
serious
it.
action, absolutely.
Yeah, that's
absolutely
good.
respect
Very
that.
good.
How many
Yes.
students were there?
Well, there were 4 who went to
200,
jail.
200 that they found in the house. They estimated.
Okay, but four that actually went to jail.
Four,
went to
the
jail.
4 guys who ran this thing. They were all students at BU.
Were
I
they
wonder if they were-
charging
I was
or
gonna-
anything?
That was my question. You
I'm
stole
not
my
gonna.
question.
I don't want to get free enterprise is something I am not touching. I don't.
What that means is he doesn't know.
Okay, I kind of
Oh,
thought that was
you always
you,
pick.
you
you're-
missed that.
You're always
element to
picking
it.
on me. All right. Okay.
They were taking even $10 a head. They would have been doing okay.
What is
Yeah.
the name of that former president of
John Silber?
no, Silver, we
John
know.
Silver?
The
Former
guy
president of.
Ukraine.
Oh, you're the one who Yamamoto. I don't know
Right.
what his name was.
Yukanovich, something like that.
I've
Okay.
no idea how to pronounce it.
Well, anyways,
All I know is
he
that
fled and went to Russia. He's there with
it's
that
the one
guy
that
who
went out
gave
of
up
jail
all the
was more
secrets.
attractive.
Yep.
What about?
I'd be willing to fight for Ukraine for strange reasons.
Why?
Care to
You'd
elaborate?
You'd make the
Ukraine's one
Olympic
of the
team
3
there, the rowing.
No. Ukraine is one of the 3 countries in the world with the most attractive women. That's why.
Interesting.
How come you know this little tidbit?
Yes.
Why not?
Oh, what do you do?
I think I've heard that, believe it or not.
Ukraine, Ethiopia, and Brazil
Oh.
Okay.
All right.
Those three countries
I'll
have
tell-
a disproportionate percentage of the world's most attractive women.
Well, we know a woman who Rini knows. Her name is Elsa, and I'll tell her. And she's a rather attractive woman. I'll tell her what you said. She'll like that, Elsa.
Sure
Now,
she
which
will.
Because this
in
is the
shape.
Mardi Gras now. If you should get on a
No,
plane and go down there.
Carnival.
What?
Carnival.
Oh, Carnival. All right.
You got the
well,
wrong country.
Wait a minute. But it's like a Mardi Gras, isn't
Yes,
it is.
very
Yes,
similar.
it's the same thing.
And if you were down in Louisiana, we were down there for summer.
Then it's Mardi Gras.
It's
Yes.
Mardi Gras.
Yep.
Big, but it's the same idea. It's about Lent, isn't it?
Yeah, and they have one in Berlin that it's some strange name like Fosnacht or something.
Or
whatever it is.
Schadenfreude or something.
But
I don't know. You
But-
didn't
You think
try
you-
very hard on that one.
You think you know everything? Ah, sure. All right. Okay.
mean,
well,
Both
I
of
got
you
a
think you know
picture of my
everything.
great niece all dressed up like Pippi Longstockings for this event in Berlin, and that's the only reason I saw this. But anyway,
Don't defend
It's
yourself
fun.
to him. You're allowed to know everything if you want to know
Well, he
everything.
knows almost everything. I know
you
a
know the
little.
rest.
I know a little.
So between
and
the
we
two
got
of
you
you-
here to help out.
I rounded out.
I now know that it is now time
Oh,
for the BIG Unrehearsed Thespian Society's presentation for this evening, reclaimed from the depths of the vault.
The vault.
Yes. You remember last night on the Oscars, they showed you all the great old movies, and they honored Gone with the Wind and thing. Well, this play is newer than Gone for the Wind.
Gone for the wind, huh?
Gone for
Well,
the
it's-
Wind.
all right.
Gone
It's
with
close,
the
though.
Wind. whatever it is.
It's close. It's not. I mean.
No, it wasn't Gone with the
No,
Wind.
Clark Gable could have
it
played
was, I'm
one
sorry,
of these
it was
roles.
Wizard of Oz.
Ah.
That's what it was.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
The name of this play.
They didn't even show anything from Gone with the Wind.
No,
at
they
the
didn't.
Oscars.
That's what
didn't
you were
show
expecting,
anything.
though. You wanted that.
I like the scene down south when everything was burning in that city down in Georgia.
Atlanta.
Atlanta. Okay, go ahead.
All
Thanks
right.
to Mr. Sherman.
Break
Okay.
into our play.
Here we go.
What's the title of the play?
Title
Oh,
of the play.
the title is Travel.
Travel. All right. Action.
People still want to travel.
It's a big world.
But it costs so much.
That's why you work hard.
Middle class stuff.
Sure, anybody can go. You just have to save.
Don't you want to climb the pyramids?
Yeah, and get West Nile fever or something worse.
Look, 2 flights in my house is enough for me.
Learning about other cultures.
Yeah, you're not interested.
And I'm not paying twice.
What's that mean?
First, we give them foreign aid.
And then I have to buy a travel package.
To another continent,
Different way of life and language.
Mine is just fine, thank you.
obviously, but narrow.
You're missing plenty.
I am perfectly content and comfortable here.
We're aware of that.
There's so much more, though.
And besides, you always look heavier after a trip.
Well, it's broadening.
Testing all those new native favorites, huh?
Magnificent cathedrals and museums.
Yeah, I do have to admit, it's a sumptuous feast for the eyes.
Yes, to finally get to see them.
Of course, it's expensive,
And there's all that walking.
And then there's our cheap dollar.
but those floating palaces,
Ah, you mean cruise ships?
I can still get seasick.
lovely staterooms.
Not on my budget. On my budget, there's no windows.
But there's gourmet dining, 5 meals.
Yeah,
A
and
day.
you look it.
Thanks.
Las Vegas shows nightly.
And they have gambling.
I still love the Far East.
The tropics are so romantic.
Humidity gives you crotch itch.
The mystery of India, ha ha.
Those overpowering odors.
Yeah, and all those families living in the streets with their cows.
It's terrible. He just doesn't care about any of this.
No, it's my bed and my air conditioner.
How ordinary.
Don't you crave adventure?
I get that from crossing our bridges.
The danger from wild animals.
But we have lots of those in our society.
So cynical and negative.
The challenge of living in a foreign land doesn't appeal to you?
Oh, you mean like Boy Scout camp?
You're missing a special experience.
Good.
Why not give it a try?
Look, I don't like chili peppers either.
A vacation getaway. Doesn't that appeal?
Doesn't that sound appealing?
Yeah.
Only if it's a private room in a hospital.
It's a life-changing experience.
So is a hurricane.
In a way, I suppose.
Just give me peace and security.
But that's so monotonous.
Well, I'm a boring guy.
Yes, that's true.
Doing something different might be fun.
I actually find that quite threatening.
He likes likes his safe little niche.
I do. Emphatically, I do.
But we can't shake him up.
President Bush flies everywhere.
Laura enjoys the journeys.
Congress goes on overseas
And I
junkets.
wish them all well.
He remains totally unconcerned.
Look, it's all in the papers or on TV.
With his privacy intact.
They return with a rash or Pharaoh's revenge.
You're becoming as an old fuddy-duddy.
Yes, and staying home is quite agreeable.
But the glories of the unknown.
Look, enjoy every moment.
Not even slightly envious?
Nope, I'm just hoping for your safe return.
Our cards and calls don't pique your curiosity.
Yeah? Who picks you up at the airport?
Well, there are taxis.
But a familiar face is nice, right?
He's got that right.
Home is where the heart is, I think.
All those stories you tell.
Right. Without them, winter would be long and dreary.
I think I like summer better.
Yeah? So who watered your tomatoes?
But when it gets cold, you go south, Joe.
Well, I like skiing.
You broke a leg 2 years ago.
For us, the excitement never ends.
Yeah, embarking and disembarking.
You're a stick in the mud.
The exotic souvenirs we bring you.
Remember that magic amulet?
Remember it, it scratches every time I put it on.
You're insufferable, fuddy-duddy.
Yeah, well, you guys are just traipsing about.
He sleeps late. He has great dinners out.
New show, a ball game, maybe fishing.
In a rented rowboat?
He keeps busy.
At my own pace.
No 6 a.m. wake-up calls.
No packing and unpacking.
The dirty laundry.
Misplaced glasses.
Like I said, my friendly bed and my faithful air conditioner.
That does sound pretty good.
Maybe we should try it his way.
Only money.
And you missed a great Esplanade concert.
He's rubbing it in.
All the gorgeous scenery.
And the local harbor tour was just super.
Yeah, we were surrounded by wildlife.
Hey, the shark and the whales were really exciting.
I give up.
I got your next year's itinerary all set.
Very nice of you.
If you stay home, first night dinner on me.
Sorry, going to a reunion in Fiji. Fiji.
And
Fuji, that's the water.
And we really ought to explore the Falklands, Doctor. Fiji. would be bad.
Blackout.
Blackout. Da-da-da, da-da-da.
Fuji, Fiji,
There we go.
whatever.
Okay.
From the vault.
Yeah, from the vault.
From the vault.
Back to the vault.
Until, I don't know, 6 years from now.
Well, who knows?
Actually, I think Fuji water comes from Fiji.
Well, I
Fiji
think
and
that's, you know,
Fuji.
see, it was an honest mistake.
Yeah, I think it does.
All right.
I mean, you only missed by a letter. I mean, what the heck?
That's a song.
It's only
Fiji.
one
Hard
letter.
to read.
I got a Fuji and you got a Fiji. There it is. It's a nice song.
You gonna sing it?
I
Sing it.
took a kayak to Quincy or Nyack. Let's get away from it all.
Okay. There's a 10-second musical, okay?
You say tomato and I say
I hate to bring
tomato.
up a subject.
Uh-oh.
You hate to bring up a subject. That's what you do.
Yeah, I think that's what the whole point
You're
of this.
supposed to give us some numbers. Research.
You know, I forgot my research. We were researching clergy last week.
Yeah.
We were
and I
doing
didn't get
the
to
material compensation of clergy.
Yeah.
They got this General
lost my
Sinclair.
notes.
They're really nailing him down. He's got this captain. That
Is
he
he
was,
clergy?
No,
he's
see, he
a
keeps
general.
You know, he keeps
He's a
going from general to
Another
clergy.
Sallen segue.
Yeah. Well, I was talking to her about giving us some numbers about her research.
We already
Her
did the
research was
general and
clergy.
admiral.
General
This
she
general
did.
gets all that money, and he has this wonderful, beautiful captain that he's having an affair with. At least it's alleged. Well,
Yes.
the prosecutor says it might have happened.
Yes.
He had some, it's infidelity is part of this whole thing. He's married and has a family.
That's all right.
li-
In World War
and he's
II,
a-
the general of the army did the same thing.
That's right.
And we elected him president.
And
So
There's a double standard on this.
K.
then
Summerfield,
there was General Petraeus, another great
who
model
was
for the
almost
soldiers.
as highly ranked, actually. He was almost as highly ranked.
Yeah, he was almost
What was
four,
Petraeus, a four-star
four-star
general?
general. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
There have only
but
been
anyways,
like
all the
6.
congressmen and senators are quitting. They're all quitting.
Well, they're not
like
all
the
quitting.
generals.
It would be nice if they all quit.
Yeah.
But they're not all quitting.
No.
A lot of them
I
are
don't think that would
quitting.
be very
There's a lot of them who have said very clearly.
quitting?
Efficient? Is there anything efficient about the current
No,
Congress?
unfortunately, no. It's
They said
despicable.
that everything is so
Not as
partisan,
despicable as
they can't
Putin, though.
take it.
Despicable
Yeah.
Me 3.
Do you think?
Oh, we're talking over you. I'm sorry.
Okay,
Mike.
no, that's all right.
Go ahead. No, go
Please
ahead.
have 5 minutes, it says on the sign. Okay.
That's all right.
And
We're making sure, just in case his microphone doesn't work.
Oh, yes, we're filling.
you want to do
You have
anything about
5
you want to do
what?
anything about coal ash?
What's coal ash?
Coal ash.
Coal ash.
Is that the coal stuff, the asphalt
He knows.
stuff, the
Michael
tires
wants to
tore up
Yeah, you
stuff?
can. They could do that.
Okay.
He wants to recycle all the cinders from burning coal for power plants, and
And they leave it in
one
a
thing and
great
another.
big. They leave it in great big pools.
And what are no? They're not pools. They're piles. And what are they called? They're called heaps.
heaps.
Slag heaps.
Slaggy, but they leak. The stuff leaks out, unfortunately.
And where is
And
this
it goes
at?
into rivers.
Well, it washes
and it
out,
makes turns out to make people very sick and kids very
Where
sick.
are these located?
Well, it was we're in
Well,
West
they're
Virginia,
located all over the
and
place
then
in
any
places
place there's
where
coal
they.
mines.
where-
Okay.
Well, no, it's not at coal mines. It's
It-
at places that use
The
coal,
storage.
like power
Okay.
plants and
Okay.
stuff.
All right. We
They
did-
do not burn coal at coal mines.
Okay, they don't. That sounds
Where
like
do they burn coal?
They burn coal primarily in two places. Well, in the old days, they burned it in ships and trains and et cetera. But now it's mainly coal-fired power plants and what we have left of the steel industry,
Okay.
which is not all that much. But those are the two principal uses of coal these days.
Do you know that the Brits?
Okay.
I'm sorry, he'll tell me I know everything.
No, you
now.
know, no, that's not. Well, you do know almost everything. All right,
You
but
gotta know some
do you
stuff.
know that the Brits are threatening the old land speed record?
You mean the like Craig Breedlove and
Well,
Arfon's records?
They got a guy, and they have built a car. That's,
Okay, it's a car. I'm like, are we running? Are we
No,
biking?
no.
Motorcycle?
They have built a car, and this car
Is
is
it-
going to have a jet engine and a rocket engine, a gas engine in the same car. I'm serious.
Is this-
Wait, and it's going to go at 1,000 miles an hour
That's insane.
on the land. It is.
Is this some descendant of Mr. Campbell,
All I
who
can.
was the last one
all I-
of the
I-
British to hold
all
the
I
Where
can
land
would you
speed
find
record?
something long enough
The guy's
to
name.
accommodate that?
The guy's. It's
like
a-
how?
It's about 35 feet long. or 40
Dry
feet
lake.
long.
Okay.
They do it at dry
it
lake
weighs 6
beds,
tons.
either
Okay.
in Utah
I'll say Salt
or
Lake.
in
No, it's going. This is.
in,
They're in
in
London.
This
This
is
is
going
in
to be in
England.
Africa.
In Africa.
and on some savanna or something.
Yeah, a desert they have. They have all
Yeah.
these tribes people picking up the rocks and throwing them away. I'm
Wow.
serious, 6
So
tons of
hopefully
rocks
they're
they
paying
found.
them
Okay.
well.
Well, anyways, there's all this, and then there's Andy Green.
If they
who's
had to
fif-
pay him well, they'd be doing it somewhere else.
Andy Green.
Touche.
Andy Green is 51 years old. He's
Who?
Andy Green. He's
Andy
a fighter,
Green.
fighter pilot, and he set the previous record, which is 763 miles an hour.
Okay.
And
Wow.
now he's shooting for 1,000, and they're hoping that he'll survive it. He has no way to get out of this car.
Well, of course not.
Well, that's the thing. So we
Drama.
don't know. No
When
one
is
knows.
this happening? When is this happening?
Well, they think in 2 years it'll get the
okay,
thing.
so they'll have all the Ethiopians having cleaned out, miles and miles of desert before this.
Pretty
okay,
close to
got
that.
it.
Okay, you
we're down to a
got
minute.
that down. Now a thing comes up.
Halfway through the run, he'll run into an impala or something.
Don't say it. Deactivating
It's gonna be
life.
dramatic.
Or he'll be
Deactivating
passed by a cheetah.
life-saving implants. No, that was a big article, and we
Look
got
at
1
the
minute.
screen. We're
and I
out
ca-
of time.
The reason I brought
Irene's
it up
gonna
was
be
I have
upset.
an implant here,
Yes,
and I'm
yes.
wondering what happens if I'm very sick and I don't want to live any longer. Can I? What do they do to turn this thing off?
We'll just stick a magnet on you.
Stand in front
We'll
of your
zap you.
microwave.
Yeah.
That's
We'll
all.
take care of it.
That'll do it.
Let's do it.
There we go.
Irene, good night.
Irene.
Irene, good night. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. We'll see you in our dreams. Good night, Irene. Good night, everybody from the Fun Show here on BIG. We'll see you next week, same time, same station. Tune in.